Marin, and I play Mia in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Make sure you do all your racing in the game. On the streets, drive safely and responsibly, and wear your seatbelt.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, another review in the Need for Speed franchise, Need for Speed Most Wanted, released in 2005 for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox, PC, and the first to enter the 7th generation, the Xbox 360. Here we are watching PC gameplay, and boy is it great to see this game in 1080p. Now, if any game deserves a remake or remaster, it is definitely Most Wanted. Now, some people like to think that Underground 2 is where the franchise peaked, but I respectfully disagree. I actually like Most Wanted way more than Underground 2. The biggest thing I took away from Most Wanted is that it got rid of the complexity of Underground 2. Underground 2 just had so much going on. Now that isn't a bad thing, but they had a lot of useless things going on. If you want to know how I felt about all that, then check out my last review for Underground 2. Most Wanted just seemed more straightforward and didn't want to do things over and beyond, which I greatly appreciate. Keep it simple, man. But while they did remove a lot of things, they did also add some new things. So this game's story replaces both the fully animated and comic book strips of the last game's 4 live action / green screen animated cutscenes, and I'll tell you this, I love them. Now, this game has certainly aged due to some of the graphics and blatantly obvious green screen effects. Sometimes it can take you out of it just a little bit because you can tell real hard that it's overusing the green screen effect, but hey, I am here for it all day. Now, the dialogue isn't the best. This can sometimes be the most cheesiest and corny thing I have ever seen, but I love it all at the same time. At the beginning of the game, you start driving the most famous car in the Need for Speed franchise, the BMW M3 GTR, which essentially replaces the Nissan Skyline GTR R34 because that game is absent here, which is sad in my mind because that is my favorite car of all time, but you know, BMW M3 GTR is a great replacement. You are new to Rockport here and decide to start racing some of the local racers. You get the attention of the main antagonist, Razor. He decides to race you with the convincing of your friend that you just met named Mia. He screws up your ride and you break down mid-race and he claims your car. And from here, you must start all the way from the bottom and earn back your car by racing through what's called the Blacklist. A list of 15 racers that you must meet certain requirements before you race said Blacklist racer. So you might have to do 4 races and get a bounty of 50,000. Once you do that, then you are able to challenge them and earn your spot on the Blacklist. Now, bounty is earned by the newest feature in the street racing series that they haven't had since Hot Pursuit 2, which is the police. This is honestly where you are probably going to have most of your fun, outrunning the cops. As soon as they turn on their lights, you must do everything to try and escape. The longer you are in the pursuit with them, the more bounty you will earn throughout the game. And you must get this bounty to be able to compete with other Blacklist racers. So sometimes you might need to trade paint with like 7 different cops throughout a pursuit, or avoid roadblocks and spike strips, stay in a pursuit for 5 minutes, or try to successfully escape in less than 3 minutes. Now, you also have a heat level that comes with every one of your rides. Throughout the progress of your game, that heat level can increase all the way up to level 5. It only ever gets to level 6 on the last level of the game, so 5 is the max. With every heat level, the more difficult the pursuit can get. They'll start doing roadblocks, spike strips, send helicopters, have big trucks trying to ram right into you, or then they will send Corvette badge cars after you. I've had great times playing with the cop chases, and once and if they bust you, they will play this funny scene of you actually being arrested. Now, once your car reaches a certain heat level, the only way to decrease that heat level is by going to a shop and customizing your ride to look different. Now, this is how you incorporate the customization tool correctly, because now you have an incentive to change the look of your ride. It has a purpose. However, they downgrade the living hell out of the customization tool since Underground 2. But I mean, honestly, a lot of the options from Underground 2 were so pointless. So the cars in this game still kind of feel similar to the previous games in terms of how they handle. Now there are some new changes to this entry. Nitrous doesn't come back by earning it back, it just slowly fills back up for as long as you are driving. And you also have this new button called the speed breaker, which slows down time and you can calculate how you want your car to move, and it helps a lot with cop chases. They obviously changed up the car list with adding some new types of cars like exotics and modern muscle cars like the Corvette. I do like this change up because it gives you more options, and options that make sense compared to adding SUVs in Underground 2. So in terms of the actual racing in the game, they did remove some races and added in new ones. They got rid of the drifting and Street X races and the URL, which makes sense, I guess. But they also added back in lap knockout and a thing called toll booths and speed traps. Toll booths are just time trials. I tend to do the time trials most of the time because they're just very easy to do and they still help you progress through the game. Speed traps are racing through a course and driving through capture points that records how fast you are going through certain sections of the race. It adds all that up by the end, and whoever was going the fastest wins. Sprint and circuit races obviously come back, and as well as drag racing, and thankfully the last bullshit attempt at street drag racing for a long time. Now, I will give it this: it is a lot better than Underground 2, even though I thought it was going to be worse than Most Wanted. It is still fucking stupid how you have to avoid traffic and you aren't even remotely on a straight road, but it does feel better and wasn't as frustrating as the previous entry, so I'm not going to go into further detail with drag racing like I did in ad nauseum in the last couple videos. But moving forward, the biggest thing I really liked about this game and why it doesn't feel as repetitive is because of the blacklist feature. This creates great pacing for the game. Each blacklist racer comes with their own little bio about them and an introduction to who they are, and with a small little cutscene. This is what keeps me moving throughout the game. So as soon as you beat a blacklist racer, you are given the option to pick 2 out of 6 cards after the races. One of them is a pink slip to the blacklist racer's ride that you can keep and use or sell if you want to. And on top of everything else, if it wasn't already explained, but this is another open world that you can always explore at your leisure. That if you wanted to, travel to said races like in Underground 2, but you can always select the races from the blacklist racer menu, which I honestly prefer. But you do have to travel to any car lot and performance shop. So while they did remove a lot from Underground 2, I still feel that this game is an improvement from the last one. It just did so much right to the story, the cop chases, the newer cars to choose from. The soundtrack is great also. I do like it more than Underground 2, and it is very close to beating Underground 1 for me, but not enough. Guys, please play Most Wanted if you haven't already. My name is Pedro Ordonez, also known as Gamelight 7. Please subscribe, comment, like, thumbs up, do whatever you guys can to support this channel. Let me know what you guys would like to see me review next in the future, and I'll see you guys next time when we continue our racer story in Need for Speed Carbon. Peace out.